What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get into today's video, thank you, God, for another day and opportunity. And if it's your first time, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Now, if you are watching, you are a part of the Rich Gang family. So what I need y'all to go ahead and do is be sure to turn on post notifications because I upload every single day. Go ahead and hit that like button. And last but definitely not least, go ahead and comment down right now. Where are you tuning in from today? But as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, today I am bringing y'all one of the best, most rare and toxic builds on NBA 2K22. Coming out of the small forward position, we're going to be making the pass first wing, but with this build, one of the most well-rounded builds you're going to be able to be making all year. And when it comes down to the pie chart that we're going to be using, very surprising, but yes, we're still going to be able to shoot and play elite defense. Go with the playmaking as well as the finishing pie chart, pretty much the orange or yellow with the blue. Now, once we go ahead and get into the physical profile, you have two options to pick from. Now, we have the 81 speed physical profile or the 85 speed. Now, the only difference is really going to be a -4 if you do pick the fourth pie chart, but we're getting a huge boost put towards our vertical when it comes down to it. So in my liking, I would rather take the -4 towards the speed and get at least a +10 put towards our vertical when it's all said and done. If you want to go with the first one, you definitely can do so for the maximum speed, but I'm telling you, once we get gem rat on this build as well as hit 99 overall, you're really going to be able to see what this build is going to be able to do. So I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know right now, we're going to be able to get contact dunks on this build as well as pro dribble moves. Now, when it comes down to the close shot for the finishing, I'm going to go with an 83, 84 for the driving layup, and an 83 driving dunk. That's going to give us 13 badges. Now, once we go ahead and get into the shooting, the mid-range shot is going to be a 72, 64 for the three-pointer. Free throw, I'm going to max this out so we're able to take this build into any game mode with a 67 post fade. Now, we get 11 badges there, but really consider what this build is going to be looking like with shooting boost as well as the +4 from 99 overall. Now, for the playmaking, max out that pass accuracy. Same thing for the ball handle. Then we're going to go with an 82 post control. That's going to give us 30 badges. And with this build, we are also able to make it even more rare because we do get post scoring as well as shot creating takeover, basing it off two different versions that I'm showing y'all today. So we're going to go ahead and look at the defensive area. I'm going to max out the perimeter defense, lateral quickness, steal, defensive rebound. Then I did go with a 40 block, and we're able to get 6 defensive badges, 30 playmaking, 11 shooting, and 13 finishing. Now, really consider, if you have been grinding each season, that gives you an extra badge point put towards the badges. So you do have the potential to get an extra 7 badges put towards this build, and if you do have that, put it towards the defensive end, and that's really going to make this build more toxic in my opinion. For the body shape, I'm going to go with Burley or build, and yes, we are making this build out of the metric system, so all you need to do to change is in your units of measurement, go into your settings, then you're going to go ahead and change it from the imperial to the metric system, or the metric system to the imperial system. Now, there is one minor thing that you do have to watch out for when it comes down to making this build. Because we are using it out of the metric system, I'm not sure if it makes any difference, but if you do raise it all the way to the maximum height, then bring it back down to the lowest, then if you leave it at 2.02 meters, as you can see right there, we do have a 76 ball handle, which isn't correct. So what you need to do is back out. It's a little glitch within the system of the maker. Leave it at 2.20 meters right here, and we're going to leave it at a 77 ball handle instead of a 76. Now, I figured that out as I was making this build. I just want to go ahead and show y'all so that way you don't run into the same thing. When it comes down to the weight, I'm going to go with 85 kilograms. That's going to leave us at an 83 speed. And again, the acceleration is pretty solid at an 81. Now, once it comes down to the wingspan, you have a few different options to pick from. So, if you do want to get the post scoring, go with 227 centimeters. But if you want to make it to where you're able to get that shot creating takeover, go ahead and follow along. And right here, as you can see, we do get the slashing, playmaking, post scoring with the shot creating takeover at 220 centimeters. But for my liking, I would definitely have to say I would go with the max if you're looking to pick the post scoring takeover. If you want to lower it, you definitely can do so, but again, it just really comes down to the way that you want to make this build. There are multiple wingspans that you can get the same build name out of, but if you do change it and want to get that shot creating takeover, then I would just recommend going with 220 centimeters. Either or, it just base it off of your preference. So for my liking, since I did say I would rather go with the post scoring, I would go with 227 or 225. And as y'all can see, we were able to create the pass first wing with pro dribble moves as well as all of the contact dunks when it comes down to this year. So before we get into the badge count, I want to go ahead and check out what this build will look like at 99 with all of the boost included. So towards our physicals, we're going to get a +8 because of gym rat and the +4 at 99 overall. So if you did pick the first physical profile for the most speed, the numbers may vary from what it's showing for me, because I did pick the fourth one with a higher vertical, and you're going to see just why right now. We're getting a +8 in this area. So the speed, a 91. Acceleration, 89. Vertical, a 93. And that is perfect, honestly, for this kind of build. Once you go ahead and add a +8 put towards our finishing, shooting, playmaking, and defensive end, then also consider running with teammates that do have defensive leader and floor general on Hall of Fame with your takeover activated. Now, I don't know which takeover y'all picked, but with this build, the close shot is going to be a 99. When it comes down to the driving dunk, you have a lot of potential with the +12. Same thing put towards the driving layup, but when it comes down to the shooting, you're definitely going to be in the 70s, especially when it comes down to the mid-range shot. You're going to be a huge factor when it comes down to shooting from deep or on the inside. But honestly, I feel like this is easily one of the best well-rounded builds, especially if you have grinded out all year like I mentioned earlier. You're going to be able to get 7 extra badges, and just imagine what this build would look like if you put all those badges put towards the defensive area. So for my liking, I'm going to go and spread the wealth with Intimidator, then Clamps, as well as Rim Protector, or you can go with the Rebound Chaser. Now that's the 6 badges just for the defensive end. Let's go ahead and get into the shooting. And as you can see, we got 11 badges here, so I'm going to go with Hot Zone Hunter on gold first. Then from here, I also really like to spread the wealth as well, so I'm going to go with Silver Deadeye as well as Bronze Corner Specialist. Then to go a little bit more into depth, I'm going to go with Bronze Volume Shooter as well as Green Machine. And for the very last badge, again, this should be based off your own preference, but what I like to run would be Hall of Fame, or since we could only get it on gold, I'm going to go with Sniper. Now real quick, since we are in the summer for 2K22, let me know if the build system were to remain the same for 2K23. What build would you be making, and would you enjoy the same build system, or would you rather have it changed, and why? Let me know right now in the comment section, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. You made it this far into the video, you might as well. But when it comes down to what we're going to be looking like for the finishing, I'm going to go with Hall of Fame Limitless Takeoff, Posterizer. Then for the very last badge, since we do have post scoring takeover, I would go with one of 2 badges. I would consider between Back Down Punisher as well as Hook Specialist. Now in my favor, I would rather go with Hook Specialist because of what this badge does. Those post hooks are very toxic and overpowered this year. Honestly, they have been for the past few years, and even another badge that I would consider would be Post Spin Technician. Now, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the playmaking. 30 badges for this build, and I'm telling you, this is easily going to be one of the most rare builds that you're going to be able to use, because look at the Hall of Fame category for the playmaking. We're going to be able to get handles for days as well as quick first step. And honestly, once you add in getting contact dunks, then from there, we're going to be able to be hitting post hooks, y'all, in post scoring takeover. Then we still got some pretty solid defense as well with boost. Now, I know a lot of people do say that quick chain used to be important. What I have been hearing is that you do not need quick chain anymore, but I do know for a fact Hyperdrive is definitely the badge that you want to keep on. From here, I'm going to go with Triple Threat Juke, Space Creator as well, because this badge allows us to break ankles. So you technically do not need that shot creating takeover if you want to break ankles, so you can always change up the way that you make it. But from here, there are so many different ways that you can work with when it comes down to this build. You can even go with Hall of Fame Quick Chain as well as Unpluckable if you want to. But for my liking to go with the build, I'm going to go with Post Playmaker. And as y'all can see, we get 6 defensive badges, 30 playmaking, 11 shooting, and 13 finishing. If you made it to the end, man, thank you, and I appreciate you. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, and happy Father's Day to you. Dad, thank you. God bless. And again, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. And anybody who wants to join the Rich Gang family, be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications. Hit that like button. Let's go ahead and get 50 likes on this video. And be sure to comment down below, where did you tune in from today? Again, thank y'all for the support. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.